The first lifter is going to be Louise Singh at 14. Rack height 14. The first lifter is going to be Louise Singh. We're starting a minute late, but she's going to be taking on 86 kilos for her opening attempt. And we're just going to make sure that everything's in check. And the bar is loaded. 86 kilos for Louise Singh. Okay, first lift of this afternoon session. Give a round of applause.
Squat. Rack.
Okay, that's a good looking lift for Louise. And it's 2 white lights. Chief referee Vicki on depth. Just saying it might not have been deep enough, but 2 white lights is good enough. Rack height 14, boys. Weight is 105. This is for James Waterson. Thanks. Thank you. James Waterson with 105 kilos. It's a yellow, big yellow plate, big yellow plate. And the rack heights are the same, so that's convenient. This is James. He'll be followed by Shannon, Angela, Sally, and Debbie. Bar loaded now for James. James Waterson. Bar is loaded. Okay, there doesn't seem to be a James ready, so we're going to find out what's happening. The clock starts. So those that have just turned up, you're watching the Brisbane Open here at the Brisbane Fitness Show. When I call bars loaded, the clock starts. The bar is currently loaded for James Waterson, who is nowhere to be seen. The existence of James Waterson is under severe question. Okay, there seems to be some confusion. James Waterson, you've got 15 seconds to get a squat signal. Let's give a round of applause, come on! You got 10 seconds, James.
Squat.
That was the quickest walkout I've ever seen. Wait there.
Rack.
That was amazing. Alrighty. So pretty strong opening attempt despite a lot of confusion. I've seen a lot of lifting and that's pretty funny. Alrighty, Shannon McIlwin. If anybody wants to correct my pronunciation of McIlwin, I will happily take on your feedback. She's squatting 110 kilos. Rack height is 11. Bar is loaded. Okay, so we've got Shannon. Shannon is going to be followed by Angela, Sally, Debbie, Owen. So we've got lifters in the 84 women's, 85 men's, 100 plus women's, and one lifter in the 77 men's also in this session. So we now have 120 kilos going on the bar. This is for Angela Lowe. $120 kilos.
Bar's loaded.
Bar loaded now, 120. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 lifters in this session. Sounds like there's a big support network. Come on, let's go, Angela.
Squat. Rack.
Very strong looking opener.
I'll have to have a look. Tell Jan.
Jan. Okay, the next lifter we have to the platform is Sally. Angela's was a no lift, was it? Was it a no lift?
I gave her no lift.
No lift? Depth?
Depth.
Okay. Depth. Okay. Right, so the next
Last
lifter is
loaded.
going to be Sally Winstonley. Loaded bar is loaded for Sally Winstonley with 130 kilos. Angela Lowe's opening squat at 120 is deemed a no lift for failing to achieve enough depth. So in the squat, in order to get deep enough, the top of the hip or the crease of the hip has to get to a point that's below the top of the knee.
Squat.
As demonstrated excellently by Sally.
Rack.
But that is going to be a good lift, I suspect. Yes, it is. 3 white lights. So the hip crease has to get to a height that's below the top of the knee in the bottom position of the squat. If that doesn't occur, it will be a no lift. Next lifter, Debbie Lee Young. 175 goes on the bar. This is for her opening attempt, a big opening attempt
Bar's loaded.
for the young lady. Bar is loaded. Okay, so you'll see that to the left of the platform, we're up here. We've got a clock that runs. She's got 1 minute to get the squat signal from the referee. Plenty of time. You see the lifters like to take their time to position themselves, to get their back tight, unless your name is James. And you'll notice that as soon as the referee says squat, that clock will stop.
Squat.
Very smooth
Rack.
squat opening attempt. And it's 2 white lights, good lift. Side referee Dave Keong not happy with the depth there, but the other 2 were. So majority rules, it's a good lift. Okay, we're now putting even more weight in the bar. This is for Owen. 185 kilos will go on the bar. We've got lifters from both genders, male and female, as well as different weight classes, as light as 77 and as heavy as 100 plus.
Bar's loaded.
And the next group, we've got 120 kilo plus men. So big spread of lifters. Bar loaded now for Owen Feng. In the previous session, we had lifters as young as 14. In the previous session, we had lifters as young as 14 years of age. So powerlifting, truly an accessible sport for everyone of any age, size, ability, background.
Rack.
Okay, and that's going to be a no lift. So the lifter did not actually receive a signal from the referee to commence the lift. So the referees, you guys still got to put in your decisions, but that's going to be a no lift. So when the lifter is standing on the platform, if you haven't seen much powerlifting before, our chief referee is going to signal to them to start the lift. And their start signal is actually the word squat. They won't be told to squat until their knees are straight and their hips are
Loaded.
extended. Bar is loaded for Liam. So when Liam comes out here, try to observe for yourself whether or not his knees are straight and his hips are extended. If they are, the referee will say squat. He does the squat. When the lift is done, the referee will say rack, and he puts the bar back. Failure to obey these 2 signals deems the lift invalid. No lift. You get a red strike over here. For now, 187, Liam.
Squat. Rack.
So a strong squat. Let's see what the referees think of that attempt. And it's 3 white lights, although it was very quick on the rack signal. He started moving as Vicki said rack. Our chief referee, Vicki O'Brien, 10 years of referee experience, of competition experience, she's mic'd up. So you should be able to hear her signal squat and rack and be able to figure out whether or not the lifter is beating these signals or actually obeying their commands.
Bar's
For now,
loaded.
this is 210 kilos. The last lift of the first round of squats. Bar is loaded. Yes, bar is loaded. Clock. Thank you. Sorry, thank you. It's tough, I know. Okay, so because the bar has been called loaded, the clock starts. This lifter Dyke is from Nauru. He's on island time, so he takes his time. He's going to come out here for 210 kilos. The referees are making sure that he's properly dressed for his attempt. Okay, he's got 25 seconds. Let's give him a round of support as he comes out here. A round of applause as he comes out. Okay, 15 seconds. 10.
Squat.
5 seconds to spare. Great looking squat. Very powerful as he locks out. And that's a good lift. Yeah, 3 white lights. So, good round of squats. A couple of lifts failed for technical reasons. One, not listening to the signals. Another, failing to make depth. A few lifters getting squat signals at the absolute last second. So, a little bit shaky from these lifters, but with 1 round under their belt, they should come out a little bit cleaner in this next round. Okay, top of the group, we've got Louise Singh at 94 kilos. You're watching the Brisbane Open here at the Brisbane Fitness Show, Powerlifting Australia's 3 left event. Consisting of the squat, bench press, deadlift. So these lifters will be lifting for the next 2.5 to 3 hours. Starting with the squats, followed by the bench press, followed by the deadlift, with the goal of lifting the heaviest weight possible, achieving the highest total possible. Bar is loaded now for Louise Singh, 94 kilos.
Squat. Rack.
Okay, unfortunate it's a no lift. That's 2 red lights from both front and side referee, just for depth. Okay, pretty similar to that first attempt, I think, which was also a depth call for from one referee. Okay, now a little bit more punctual than the last attempt. We've got James Waterson, 115 kgs.
Loaded.
Bar is loaded, 10 kilos heavier than his first attempt. Bar is loaded.
Squat. Rack.
Very powerful attempt. Nearly stepped early. He knew it too, but he didn't. And it's going to be a good lift. 3 white lights for James. Okay, our next lifter, Shannon McIlwim. 7 kilos up on the previous attempt. This is 117 to be followed by Angela, Sally, and Debbie Lee Young.
Bar's loaded.
Bar loaded now for Shannon. 7 kilo increase. Bar is loaded.
Squat. Rack.
Nice push through there, but unfortunately that's 2 red lights, both from the side referees. Again for depth. So a few red lights in this morning, or the afternoon session. But now we're going to Angela Lowe. This is 124 on the bar. No, 125, sorry, 125.
Bar's loaded.
Bar loaded for Angela. Angela missed the opening attempt on depth. But she's opted to go up 5 kilos anyway, so she needs this lift if she wants to register a total.
Squat.
And a good lift, 3 white lights. Okay, so despite missing the opening attempt and a 5 kilo increase, it proved no problem. Now, Sally Winstonley, 140 kilos on the bar, 10 kilos more than she opted for in the last round or the first attempt. But bar is loaded.
Yep.
Bar is loaded now for Sally. This is 140 kilos.
Squat. Rack.
That's a really nice looking attempt by Sally. And it's white light, so it's a good lift for Sally. It slowed down in the middle, but what she did really well is she held her shape, didn't let the weight push her forward or fall out of technique. Very good attempt. Okay, now 185 kilos goes on the bar for Debbie Lee Young, to be followed by Owen, Liam, and Dyke. Debbie, the heaviest squat by any woman today, 185 kilos. She's in the 100-plus category.
Bar's loaded.
Bar is loaded, so give her your support as she comes out here. This is 10 kilos up in the last round.
Squat. Rack.
Really good fight by Debbie. The referee's going to say it's a good lift. Okay, next load is Owen. So you'll notice we've got 3 referees. Side referee Dave Keong, side referee Billy Asprey, and chief referee Vicki O'Brien. The 3 judges or referees make a decision as to whether or not the lift was good by pressing a button, red or white. Majority rules, 2 white lights or 3 white lights is a good lift. 2 red lights or 3 red lights is a no lift. For now, Owen was awarded a no lift in the opening round. Bar is loaded for Owen. He was awarded a no lift. Not much of an award, but he awarded a no lift for failing to obey the signals from our referee. So keep an ear out for the signals from Chief Referee Vicki O'Brien as Owen comes out here.
Squat. Rack.
And unfortunately, that's a no lift for failing, again, to listen to the rack signal. So in the previous round, he missed the squat signal. In this attempt, he missed the rack signal. And unfortunately for Owen, after 2 rounds of squats, he's failed to register a successful lift. Not a position any lifter wants to really be in. Okay, now we've got Liam. Liam has taken 193 kilos for his second attempt squat. Successful with 187, only a 6 kilo jump, so very conservative. Bar is loaded. Again, keep an ear out. Chief referee Vicki O'Brien has a headset on. So her signals are going to come through the speakers, so you're going to be able to hear her signals very clearly. And you'll notice that the lifter has to await these signals. The reason is because we're making sure that the lifter is standing straight with knees locked, hips through, and our side referees need time to adjudicate this. You'll see if they've got their hands up.
Squat. Rack.
Great control by Liam, and it's 3 white lights. It's a good lift. Okay, heaviest squat of this session so far. This is Daiki from Nauru. He's in the 77 kilo class, huge squat. And what looks to be a really good total coming up here with an opening bench press of 135 and opening deadlift of 255. Okay, so he's the third one of three lifters that we have lifting today from Nauru. Nauru, a small country to the east of here, population 10,000. We're pretty much the all power lift.
Bar's loaded.
Bar is loaded for Daikit, 220 kilos. This is 10 kilos above his opening attempt. 10 kilos above. So give him a round of applause as he comes out here for 220 kilos.
Squat. Rack.
So a good attempt there by Daiki. Slowed down through the middle, but he fought through and he gets a good lift. So that's good lift at 220, very strong squatting. Okay, we're going to start the third round of squats for our Group B. First up, we've got Louise Singh. Now, Louise, good lifter, but missed her second attempt squat on depth. 2 red lights to 1. So it was a close call. Obviously, one of our referees feeling it was good. For now, bar is loaded to 96. So they've chosen to go up 2 kilos. If you fail a weight, you're not allowed to choose a weight in the next round that's less than what you've done. You can choose to equal it or go up. Louise, after failing 94, has chosen to go up to 96. So you might say a conservative jump, but in line with the fact that her previous lift was unsuccessful. So she needs this lift
Squat.
to add 10 kilos to her squat. That looks pretty good.
Rack.
Let's see what the referees think of that one. And unfortunately, it's a no lift. 2 reds to 1. Again, close call, but she finishes with 1 out of 3 on the squat and 86 on the scoreboard. Okay, another lifter that struggled with depth, Shannon McIlwim. Failed 117, but now going to 120. So in a similar line as Louise.
Bar's loaded.
Failing, but opting to go up slightly. Bar loaded. Bar is loaded for Shannon. Give her a round of applause as she comes out here. You're watching the Brisbane Open here at the Brisbane Fitness Show.
Squat. Rack.
Really good attempt. I liked how she executed that. So do the referees. It's 3 white lights. Okay, next lifter, James Waterson. He's taken a 125 squat. So he's jumped another 10 kilos. After being successful with 105 and 115, James Waterson, in what I presume is his first contest. To be followed by Angela, Sally, and Debbie. Okay, bar loaded for James Waterson. Let's go.
Squat. Rack.
Nice, easy third attempt. Nearly misses the rack there, but it's a good lift. And he's successful, 3 out of 3 on the squat. Good lifting by James. Okay, now we've got Angela Lowe. So successful with 125, has opted to take on another 3 kilos. So from 125, she's going to 128.
Switch the plates on.
These lifters in powerlifting are looking to build a big total. The total is comprised of your best squat, your best bench press, and best deadlift. So if Angela makes this lift, she adds 3 kilos to her best squat, bar loaded. She adds 3 kilos to her best squat, and therefore 3 kilos to her total. So Angela's best squat so far has been 125.
Squat. Rack.
And it's a good lift. 2 white lights. Chief referee again calling for depth. But 2 white lights is a good lift. Majority rules. Okay, we're now loading the bar to 147. This is Sally Winstonley. She's been successful with 130 and 140.
Bars loaded.
Bar loaded. She's now going to 147. Bars loaded. Okay, Sally, 147. She'll be followed by Debbie, Owen, and Liam.
Squat.
Really good fight. Come on, you got that, Sally. That is an awesome grind. Bar nearly beat her there, but she pushed through it, and she gets 3 white lights. A good lift at 147. For a moment there, it looked like the bar was going to force her back down, but she forced her way through that one. A very good attempt there by Sally. Okay, now we've got Debbie Lee Young squatting 192 kilos. Monster squat. 192 kilos. She'll be followed by Owen, yet to register a good squat. Then Liam and Dyker. Okay, we're loading that bar, making sure that bar is loaded correctly. 192, so a small green on each end.
Loaded.
Bar is loaded for Debbie Lee Young. Give her a round of applause as she comes out here.
Squat. Rack.
Unfortunately, a no lift for Debbie. She shakes her head. The spotters catch her, and she finishes the day with a 185 squat. Okay, ladies and gents. I know some of you can't see, but if you look at the scoreboard, Owen Feng yet to register a good lift in today's session. His last lift, if he fails this, he registers no total. So he needs this lift if he wants to stay in the competition. Bar is loaded for Owen Feng. Give him a round of applause as he comes out here. He needs this lift if he wants to stay in the competition. Come on, Owen. Let's go, Owen. Listen. Listen there, Owen. Stand up straight.
Replace the bar.
So put the bar back in the rack. Okay, so the lifter has to be standing straight with their knees locked, hips through. They can't be bent over.
Stand up straight.
You've got 15 seconds, Owen. Come on, give a round of support. Come on. Let's go, Owen. Owen, you got 8 seconds. You got 8 seconds. Hurry up. Come on, back. Come on. Stand straight. Stand straight.
Squat.
Come on. Stop.
Rack.
Unfortunately, that's going to be a no lift. And he's going to register no total. Ladies and gents, give him a round of support as he walks off the platform. He put in a really good effort to get the squat with 1 second on the clock. Is daring stuff. Folks, it goes to show how much your muscle memory, how much your habits are ingrained in your body. You just can't override them sometimes. He's obviously so used to standing up and walking forward. A bad habit if you want to do powerlifting because you have to stand up and wait a second.
Bar's loaded.
Okay, bar is loaded now for Liam. This is a 197 kilo squat. So the drama continues. 4 kilos above his previous attempt. This is 197 for Liam.
Squat. Rack.
Really good fight by Liam. And a great demonstration of what it means to control the bar, not only during the lift, but between racking and unracking. So a really good demonstration of lifting prowess there by Liam. So close to the big 200 kgs. Speaking about big, we've got Dyke from Nauru. This is a 500-pounder squat, 227 kilos, 500 pounds in the old scale. For a third attempt,
Bar's loaded.
bar is loaded at only 77 kilo body weight, mind you. A monster squat. So give him your support as he comes out. This is Dyke is from Nauru, competing here at the Brisbane Open. Okay, round of applause for Dyke. Come on, this is 500 pounds. Okay, you can see we've got extra spotters there to keep the lifter very safe. We've got 2 spotters on each side plus the back spotter. As these weights get heavier, we want to make sure our lifter stays safe. Nice, strong walkout. Very patiently waits for the referee. And it's just a little too heavy. But the spotter's catching. Give a round of applause. And give the spotters a round of applause for keeping our lifters safe. Great catch there. And without missing a beat, we're going to go into the next group. So those lifters have just finished their 3 squat attempts. They're going to take a break and start warming up for bench press. In the meantime, our next group of lifters are going to take to the platform. First up, we have Natalie Sam with 124 kilos. Natalie and the lifter to follow, Tara Renke, both training out of Iron Underground. Iron Underground, our main sponsor for today's powerlifting contest. Located here in Albion, or here in Brisbane in Albion. Providing powerlifting training, powerlifting coaching. So if you're interested in strength training, powerlifting, potentially competing, come see Alana at the desk. Find out more information about how to get a coach, how to learn the art of lifting, improve your strength, improve your muscle.
Bar's loaded.
For now, Natalie Sam, bar loaded. 124 kilos for Nat. Opening squat attempt.
Squat. Rack.
Very good attempt by Natalie. And the referees say 3 white lights. So, good lift for Natalie. Natalie's been lifting a long time. Seasoned veteran. Over 10 contests under a belt, 4 or 5 years of competing. So you'll notice that lifters like Natalie, lifters like Tara, very clinical in their execution of the lifts, have had great coaching, lots of experience. 140 now goes on the bar for Tara Renke. If you were here this morning, the surname Renke probably sounds familiar. Sister of Keely Renke.
Bar's loaded.
Bar loaded. 140 on the bar. She's this year's Australian champion in the junior 64 class. Actually the best female junior in Australia. Okay, not a bad opener. Let's see what the referees think. White lights, it's a good lift. It was a little slow for an opener, perhaps. But, yeah, 140 on the board for Tara Renke. Okay, next weight. Our next few lifters, very strong. Chris Duck's 220 kilo opening attempt.
Bar's loaded.
Bar is loaded for Chris.
Squat. Rack.
And a really good catch by our spotters. That's going to be a no lift for Chris. So in the first round of squats, lifters often take weights that are fairly conservative. And I dare I say, for Chris, that might be a conservative load. But it goes to show, all he did was lose his balance just a little bit at the bottom, and the weight was gone. At these types of loads, even small changes to your technique can have really big effects on the outcome of the lifts. So he's going to be awarded a no lift for that. He'll come out on the second attempt. And I mean, if his technique's a little bit better, if he's balanced, I would not be surprised if it's a very easy weight. Bar now loaded for Denver Steen. This is 225 kilos. Denver followed by Dave Napper, Jason Clark, Sam Butterworth.
Squat. Rack.
That's what an opening squat should look like. Very good opening squat. Okay, good lift for Denver at 225. We're now loading the bar to 250 quarter ton, 551 pounds. This is Dave Napper. Dave is owner and operator of one of our Powerlifting Australia affiliated gyms, Brisbane North Barbell.
Loaded.
Bar is loaded for Dave Napper. He competed at the Australian National Championships only 2 weeks ago, where he took home a silver medal. Bar is not loaded. We're going to stop the clock. And we want the racks in, apparently. And racks in, Vicki. Oh, yeah.
So is it on the sheet?
Yeah, it's on the sheet, yeah.
All right, so reset the clock. Reset.
Yeah.
That rack needs to
Okay,
come
there was
in.
an error in the loading, so we've stopped the clock. We're starting again. Okay, now you'll notice that this rack has the option to put racks in.
Bar's loaded.
Bar is loaded. What that means is the uprights aren't straight. They're on an angle. It's very secure. But it means that the lifter now has the option of taking their grip on the outside of the racks, which is an important option for some bigger lifters who are broader. So you notice Dave's grip. He grabs to the ends of the collars. Because obviously he's so large, his grip is to the end of the collars and the racks are in. So
Squat. Rack.
very easy squat there by Dave Napper. White lights. Okay, we're going to bring the weight back down, not in load, but in height, for Jason Clark. Jason's on rack 13 as opposed to Dave Napper's rack 19. Now, the only difference between Jason Clark, actually there are many, but Jason's 40 kilos lighter. He's in the 94 kilo class. Jason weighs 89 kilos, and he'll be squatting 250 kilos in the opening attempts.
Bar's loaded.
Bar is loaded, another veteran of the game. Jason is a previous Australian champion. Give him a round of applause as he comes out here. This is Jason Clark, 250 kilo squat. Previously has represented Australia. at international level competitions.
Squat. Rack.
And a very easy opening attempt by Jason. As you would expect from a seasoned lifter. Now we have Sam Butterworth. Sam is the, if I'm not mistaken, 2017 Junior Australian Champion in the 120 class. Sam's opening lift here, the heaviest squat we've seen all day. 260 kilos. Pushing towards the 600-pound mark.
Bar's loaded.
Bar is loaded for this behemoth. 260 kilo opening squat attempt. Give him a round of applause as he comes out here. This is 260 on the bar.
Squat. Rack.
Very smooth opening attempt. He nods his head. He's happy with that, and that's a good lift. So 260 kilos is a good lift. Okay, we're going to bring the bar back down. We're going to start the second round. This is 130 kilos to go on the bar for Natalie Sam. To be followed by Tara Enke, Chris Dux. Natalie, I'm going to say 2015 Australian Junior Champion in the previously 57 kilo weight class. She's here today competing in the 64 class, squatting 130 kilos on her second attempt.
Bar's loaded.
Bar is loaded for Natalie Sam.
Squat. Rack.
Okay, good squat from Natalie, and the referees like it. So that's 2 out of 2, three white lights for Natalie Sam at 130. Okay, Tara Enke now coming out here with 144. Now, if you remember, Tara's opening squat was a little hard. So coaches opted a 4 kilo increase, so pretty
Bar's
conservative.
loaded.
Bar is loaded now for Tara. She spent her morning coaching her little sister in this morning session, so might be somewhat fatigued, but she comes out here for 144.
Squat. Rack.
Okay, not a bad attempt. Slow down to the middle. The referees like it. White lights again, so it's a good lift for Tara. Okay, our next lifter is Chris Dux. If you watch Chris's opener, his first squat, he lost balance as he hit the hole, fell forward. A great spotters caught the weight, put it back in the rack for him, and he was therefore given a no lift. So now he's going to take the same weight, 220 kilos.
Bar's loaded.
Bar loaded now. Bar is loaded.
Up.
He's not coming. Is he out completely? Out altogether. Okay, just been informed that Chris may have hurt himself on that last attempt, and as a result, he's going to withdraw from the contest. We've already called Bar loaded, so we're going to have to let the clock run, and then we can make an amendment So unfortunately, Chris is going to be out of the competition after that squat attempt. So we're going to let the time run through, just the formality. And the next bar load is going to be for Denver. So that's going to be 235. That's 4 reds and a white. And Denver is going to have 4 reds and a white, 235. All right, referees, we're going to need a result on your devices. The next lifter is going to be Denver. There we go. The next lifter is going to be Denver at 235. So Denver's opener was 225, and it was really easy. And if I was watching that, I would have said to go up 15. He's decided to go up 10 kg, so maybe a little bit conservative. Maybe I just don't know him very well. He's lifting in the 105 kilo class. He weighed in at 100. 235, bar loaded for Denver. Give him a round of applause.
Squat. Rack.
Well done, good lift. And it's white lights for Denver at 235. Okay, small change in lifting order now. In the last round, also the first round, Sam Butterworth was our last lifter at 260. He's now our third to last lifter with 270. The lifting order, in case you haven't noticed the pattern, is that the weight goes up in the bar with each lifter. So if lifters take bigger jumps than others in their weights, they might change the lifting order. For now, bar is loaded for Sam Butterworth. Previously an Australian champion in the junior 120 class. This is now 270 kilos.
Squat. Rack.
That's a very nice looking squat for Sam. And it's white light. Particularly to note is that because he was the last lifter in the last round and now he's third to last, he's actually lost 2 minutes of rest time. So to come out and nail that lift, very good effort from Sam with 270. Jason Clark, on the other hand, has earned himself an extra minute's rest because he's jumped 20 kilos from 250 to 270. Jason, like Sam, a previous Australian champion, is now taking on 270 kilos, 595 pounds, bar loaded. Jason is a huge squatter and also a huge deadlifter, so expect some big deadlifts to come later. His deadlift opener is 290 kilos. For now, this is 270 on the bar.
Squat. Rack.
Man, that's a really nice squat by Jason at 270 kilos. So it's a good lift for Jace. And he puts himself with a really good total so far. Well, he's building for a really good total with that 270 squat. Okay, our next lifter is going to be Dave Napa, who's taken a 30-kilo jump. So he's earned himself 2 minutes rest by coming to the back of the group with his 280-kilo squat. We want racks at 19, and we want the racks inwards. Dave Napper is the owner and operator of Brisbane North Barbell, another Powerlifting Australia affiliated gym here in Brisbane. Bar is now loaded. He's also the 2019 silver medalist at the Australian Championships, which were held 2 weeks ago in Melbourne. So he's backing up the performance 2 weeks later to lift in his hometown of Brisbane. Ladies and gents, this is 280 kilos. Give him a round of applause. Come on. Huge squat now.
Squat. Rack.
No problems with depth on that one. That bar's in the rack, and it's 3 white lights. Good lifting for Dave. Okay, we're now going to the start of the third round. This is Natalie Sum at 135. Okay, 135 is going on the bar for Natalie Sum. So far, every lifter bar Chris, who's had to pull out, has been successful in all their attempts. We've got 2 out of 2 on the score sheet for every lifter in this group. I'm just having a look at some of the lifts to come. Dave Napper has opted to go to 300 kilos, a huge 20-kilo jump. We've got 135 for Natalie Sum. Bar is loaded, huge 135 for Nat. Jason Clark to come with 281. Van, what's the Open Australian
Squat.
record in the 94s?
Rack.
That can't be right. Patrick's been banned. Okay, well, it doesn't matter. And that's a good lift by Natalie. So she's 3 out of 3 on the squats with 135 kilos. We've now got Tara Renke out here with 146. Tara successful 2 out of 2 so far with 140 and 144. We're now loading the bar to 146, so choosing to find another 2 kilos on a total. Bar loaded. Tara actually was your best female lifter at the 2019 Junior Australian Championships. So a very accomplished lifter at a very young age. Under 23 is our junior category in powerlifting.
Squat. Rack.
And the weight just proves a touch too heavy for Tara. Give her a round of applause. And that's a no lift at 146. But she finishes the day with 144 on the squat. Okay, next load on the bar is Denver Steen taking 143 on his second attempt. Oh, third attempt, sorry. So he was successful at 235 and is now going to 243. This is an 8-kilo increase from his previous attempt. Denver's previous attempt was 235. That's right, 235. So we're now going to 243. Bar is loaded for Denver Steen. Let's go, Denver.
Squat. Rack.
Very easy squat. And it looks like he's got more in that as well, I think, actually. So it's a very good lift by Denver at 243. Okay, very quick turnaround. As with only 6 lifters in the group, these lifters are being churned out extremely quickly. Our next lifter is Sam Butterworth. He's gone 260 kilos, success. 270 kilos, success. And now 280 kilos. So another 10 kilos. Bar is loaded for Sam. Folks, this is his 3rd attempt squat. Give him a round of applause. This is 280 kilos. Come on.
Squat. Rack.
Slow down through the middle, but he fought through it, and he's happy with it, as he should be. That's a good lift, and it's 3 white lights for Sam Butterworth. 280 kilos on the squat. Monster effort there. Okay. Jason Clark now coming out here for a 281 kilo squat. Perhaps to chip Sam by the 1 kilo, maybe. Although Jason's about, 20 kilos lighter, 30 kilos lighter. Jason Clark in the 94 kilo class with 281. This is triple bodyweight squat, ladies and gents.
Bar's loaded.
Bar is loaded for a well over triple bodyweight squat by Jason Clark. 281 here at 90 kilos bodyweight. Give him a round of applause. Come on, Jason Clark, 281. You're watching the Brisbane Open here at the Brisbane Fitness Show. Powerlifting Australia's 3-lift powerlifting contest.
Squat.
Come on, Jace.
Rack.
And that was a smooth attempt. And he's on 3 out of 3 with our squats. He's very happy with that. Jason's been lifting a long time, and when you've been lifting a long time, every kilo that you can add to your lift gets harder and harder. So when the PBs roll around, it's always a very good thing. Okay, our next lift to the final squat of today's session. Following the squat, we're going to have the bench press, which will be followed then by the deadlift. But for now, to round out the squats for this entire session is Dave Napper.
Can you push the plate?
Taking a 300 kilo 3rd attempt squat. This is 20 kilos above his previous attempt. Bar is loaded for Dave Napper, 300 kilos.
Squat. Rack.
And he's happy with that. It's 300 kilos. And it's a good lift for Dave Napper. And ladies and gents, that concludes this morning's squat section. And spotters. Can you find our spotters? Morrow. Fuck, this kills me. All right, we've got Dave Keong to the platform. Excuse me.
Bar's loaded.
Alrighty, bar is loaded for Louise Singh, 50 kilos, opening bench press. Okay, so we're back to Group B. Group B squatted about an hour ago. If you remember, Louise, she only managed one squat, missed her second on depth, and then missed the third on depth again. But she's back here for bench. She's got 50 kilos on the bar.
Start. Press. Rack.
And she smokes her first attempt at bench. And that's for that one, so that's a good lift. Just waiting on a light from Dave Keong. Next lifter will be Sally Winstonley. Now, Sally really impressed me in the squat. Went 3 out of 3, squatting 147 kilos. It's 55, so yellow. 55.
Round the other way.
We've got 55 on the bar. We've got 55 on the bar for Sally Winstonley. And the rack heights are at 9, safeties at 5. And that looks good. Bar is loaded then for Sally Winstonley. So Sally, really good squat session. 3 out of 3, absolutely 147 kilo squat out. So it's really good attempt selection in that end.
Start. Press. Rack.
Okay, interesting attempt. Let's see what the referees say here. And it's going to be a no lift. She had her safety racks too high, and the bar hit the safety racks. So you'll see to the side of the platform, we have these safety racks. And that's there to catch the weight if accident happens and to keep the lifter safe. And it's the lifter and coach's job to decide what height they want the rack heights at. And they've obviously chosen a height that's too high because the weights have hit the rack when it shouldn't have. They should be high enough to save the face, but low enough that the bar never actually touches it during a normal bench press attempt.
Bar's loaded.
For now, bar is loaded. Angela Lowe with 57 kilos. So that's why our previous lifter, Sally, was given a no lift on 55. It happens. Just a small technicality. She clearly had the strength, though. It's like a pin press.
Start. Press. Rack.
Nice opening attempt for Ange. White light, so it's a good lift. 57 kilos. We've got Shannon McIlwam taking 60 kilos now for her opening attempt, to be followed by James Waterson, Debbie Lee, Dyker, and Liam Bygot. Some big benches to come. For now, 60 kilos. Bar is loaded with 60 kilos for Shannon. You're watching the bench press component of today's here at the Brisbane Fitness Show.
Start. Press. Rack.
Okay, it's a good looking lift. Again, interesting. Let's see what the referees say. And they say that it's a 2 reds. And that's going to be a no lift also for Shannon for having the safeties too high. So the safeties on this rack are deceptively high. And so we've got 2 lifters that have failed for that exact same reason in a row. So my suggestion to lifters is to bring your rack heights down, your safety racks down. Bring them lower than you think. Okay, next lifter is James Waterson. Bar is loaded now.
No. Yep. Stop. Press. Rack.
And I think that's going to be a no lift as well. So a few lifters failing here for real, for lack of a better word, novice errors. So we've got 3 failed lifts out of 5 opening attempts in the bench press, none of which on strength, all on technicalities. The bench is by far the most technical lift. A lot of things can go wrong because you need your no lift. So you need your head on the bench, your feet flat, your hips touching the bench. You need to wait for 3 signals to start press and rack call. So a lot of things to kind of think about. And failure to obey any of these signals or to comply by any of these rules means it'll be a no lift. Anyway, now we've got a Debbie Lee Young with 93 kilos.
Bar's loaded.
Bar is loaded for Debbie.
Start. Press. Rack.
Absolute smoke show for Debbie. Good lift at 93. So we get to parity. 3 good lifts and 3 no lifts in this round so far. Let's keep the green rolling. We have 135 for Dyke, opening bench press. Okay, Sally Winstonley missed 55 and has gone up 10 kilos. Interesting decision. Looking forward to seeing how that rolls around. But for now, the Naruan, 135. This is a big bench opener at 77 body weight. Safety's at 3.
Bar's loaded.
Bar is loaded for Dyke, 135.
Start. Press. Rack.
Powers through that bench. Very nice looking attempt. And no reason for concern. It's a 3 white lights, good lift for Dyke. Okay, now Liam from Burleigh Heads, 135 on the opening bench.
Bar's
Also,
loaded.
this Liam is in the 85 kilo class. So still a very strong bench.
Bar's loaded.
Bar is loaded for Liam. Liam had a great squat section going 3 out of 3. Managing 196. Just shy of 300 pounds on the bar.
Start. Press. Rack.
And lots of power through that press. And the referee's going to say 2 white lights. Red from the side, they have a reason, for the hips rising off the bench. So as I said earlier, we've got a number of technicalities. Strip the bar down. That's the last bench of the round, so we're going down definitely. Okay, so the next lifter is Louise Singh at 54. Now, as I explained earlier, the bench has a lot of things to think about. Your elbows have to be straight. Your hips have to touch the bench. Your head has to touch your bench. Your feet have to be flat on the floor. A lot of small technicalities that if a lifter fails to obey, will result them in having a no lift, as was seen in the first round with 3 lifters missing on technicalities. Well, for now, we've got Louise Singh. That's the correct load. We just need a collar on the bar. The rack height is 9. The safeties are on 3. And the bar is loaded for Louise Singh, 54 kilos, second attempt bench.
Start. Press. Rack.
It's a great looking attempt, very smooth on the way down, good pause. Okay, we're now going to 62 kilos. So that's a yellow, a 2.5, and a 1. This is for Angela Lowe. So Angela was successful with 57, and we've gone up 5 kilos to 62. Angela successful with 128 in the squats, so she missed 120, got 125, and then achieved a 128 in the squat. And now she's coming out here to add that 5 kilos from her first bench onto this one. This is 62.
Bar's loaded.
And the bar is loaded for Angela. She'll be followed by Shannon, Sally, James, and Deb. You're at the Brisbane Fitness Show. You're watching the Brisbane Open Powerlifting Australia contest. An open contest for all lifters.
Start. Press. Rack.
And just a little too heavy there. Didn't really budge off the chest. Next weight is 65. So we're going to Sally Winstonley. All the weights off, guys, and a blue plate. It was a no lift for Shannon there, Vanessa. No lift. So we've got Sally Winstonley out now. Now, Shannon actually has missed both her first and second attempts. So it's a very daring call to have gone up those 2 kilos on that last lift. Similarly, Sally missed her opening attempt. No, it's 65.
65.
So Sally missed her opening attempt of 55 and has chosen to go up 10 kilos. Huge amount, actually, on a bench press. Very unconventional, dare I say.
Bar's
Wait,
loaded.
hold on. I think there's an error.
Wait.
Hold on. Okay, there's some confusion. It's Shannon McWillem now. There we go. All right, that makes sense. We apologize. Yeah, sorry. No, sorry. I'll wear some of the blame. It's Shannon McWillem's attempt now at 62. Sorry, guys. Yeah, okay. All confusion. All right, so Shannon missed her opening bench at 60, and now she's gone to 62. So she missed on a
Bar's
technicality. Bar is loaded, but we've decided to go up 2 kilos nonetheless. Okay, so she missed her first attempt. Give her a round of applause because she needs a bit of energy to get this lift on the board.
Start. Press. Rack.
And that's a great looking attempt. Didn't hit the pins this time, the safety pins. And it's 3 white lights, so it's a good lift by Shannon. All right, now we go to Sally Winstonley, which is a blue plate. All righty. As I said earlier, Sally missed her opening bench press at 55 for hitting the safety racks. The actual rule says the bar cannot be supported by the safety racks, which it was. So as a result, it's a no lift. But we've gone up 10 kilos. Bar loaded now for Sally. So give her a round of applause. She's going to need some energy if she wants to bench 10 kilos more than what she planned to open with. Come on, give us some support, ladies and gents. Come on. that's a no lift for Sally, just a little bit too heavy there. So, yeah, dare I say, a little bit daring to have gone up 10 kilos after missing an opening attempt to bench. But she does get another attempt at that in the next round. I presume she's going to take the same weight this time, 65. Speaking about failing a weight and then going up, we've got James Waterman, who failed at 75. If memory serves correct, he also hit the safety pins on the way down.
Bar's loaded.
Oh, I beat the call. Okay. Classic. Bar loaded now for James. So he beat the signals on the last attempt. Now we've got 90 kilo increase. Again, very daring. James will be followed by Debbie, Dykey, and Liam.
Start. Press. Rack.
Much better, great control. And he's on the board with white lights. So it's a good lift at 90 for. Okay, the next lifter we've got out here is Debbie Leah. Debbie, successful with 93 on the bench, is now going to 97 kilos on the bench press. So a 4 kilo increase. Debbie squatted a monstrous 185 this morning, or this afternoon. And she's backing that up with some very impressive bench press. This is 97, bar loaded at 97 for Debbie Young.
Stop. Press. Rack.
Really powerful bench press. 3 white lights, that's good at 97. Let's see 100 on the next attempt, I imagine. Okay, Dykey now with 140. Successful with 135 on the bench. Has gone up 5 kilos for this next bench press attempt. So we'll be seeing 140 on the bar. It's a very good bench, 140 at only 76 kilos of body weight.
Bar's loaded.
Bar is loaded now. Bar is loaded for Dykey. 140 kilos. Second attempt in the bench press, looking to add 5 kilos to his total. He's got a big deadlift also. First attempt deadlift, 255. Nauru. Country of very strong lifters.
Start. Press. Rack.
Great control, great power. And 2 white lights. So 1 red from the right referee, just for his hips coming a tiny bit. Okay, last lifter of the second round is Liam Bygott with 140 kilos as well. Just like Dykey,
Bar's
140. Bar is loaded. Bar is loaded for Liam. Big bench here. Liam had a great squat session, as I said earlier. 197 squat, now 140 on the bench. So this is going to be followed by Louise Singh, Angela Lowe, Sally Winstonley.
Start. Press. Rack.
Great power on that lift. 3 white lights. That's a good lift for Liam. Okay, our next lifter is Louise Singh. And the lifter is going to be benching 56 kilos. We got 56 for Louise. Louise will be followed by Angela, Sally, and Shannon. Now, Sally's been having a rough day, rough bench session. Really great squatting. And a rough bench session where she missed the opener and then missed a second.
Bar's loaded.
So the bar is loaded now for Louise at 56 kilos. Louise was successful at 54 and now has gone up 2 kilos. So this is a 2 kilo increase on her previous attempt.
Stop. Press. Rack.
Really powerful bench. Better than the second attempt, I think. So she's happy with that. And we've got 62 going on the bar now for Angela. So Angela missed this on in the last round. Wouldn't budge off her chest.
Bar's loaded.
Bar is loaded now for Angela. So Ange, 5 kilos up on her best bench so far, which was her opener. She missed this weight in the second round, so she's going to need a little bit of support to get through this third attempt bench press. Come on.
Stop. Press. Rack.
Okay, just a little too heavy on that one. So she's going to finish the day with kilos. Clearly not what she was intending, but missing 62 kilos twice leaves her on her opening bench. Okay, the next lifter, folks, is Sally Winstonley. Now, Sally had a great squat session, but bench has not been so good. She's yet to register a good bench press. She missed her opener on 55 and has now missed her second attempt on 65.
Bar's loaded.
So we're taking 65 again. Bar is loaded. She needs this lift if she wants to stay in the competition. Give us some support. Give us some energy. Nobody wants to see a lift and not register a total. So round of applause for Sally Winstonley, 65 kilo bench.
Stop. Press.
Oh, really good descent.
Rack.
Really good pause. The press was really nice too. Let's see what the referees think. And it's white lights. So she gets the lift. Very scary stuff there, but she walks away with probably not leaving much on the platform, actually. That 65 was quite challenging. So what could have been a terrible day actually looks like it's coming together with a really nice subtotal of 212 for Sally Winstonley. So great work by her. Now, bar loaded for Shannon McIlwam with 67.
Stop. Press. Rack.
Nice work by Shannon. And I think it's going to be, yes it is. So it's a good lift at 67. So after a rocky start on the bench, missing 60, she comes back and now 62 and 67. Our next lifter is James Waterman. Successful so far with 90. We've gone up to 100 kilos. So the big century. Big milestone in any lifter's career to bench 100 kilos. He'll be followed by Debbie Dyke and Liam.
Bar's loaded.
Bar is loaded. Bar loaded for James Waterson.
Stop. Press. Rack.
And 100 kilos proving just a little bit too heavy for James. Fails to press that to lockout. And it's a no lift, clearly. Okay, now we've got Debbie Young, 101. Successful with 93 and 97. She's had a pretty good day managing 2 squats, squatting over 400 pounds. Now going for a 101 bench. Bar is loaded for Debbie. She's been looking strong and powerful. She wants to capitalize, finish off this bench. Huge 101 bench. To be followed by Daiki and Liam.
Stop. Press. Rack.
And it's a good lift. That's a good lift for Debbie. She's on 101 bench, 185 squat, so it's a 286 subtotal. So very good lifting for Debbie. Okay, 2 lifters left in this group of bench presses. Daiki, 143, and he'll be followed by Liam, who will be going at 145.
We need the 5 on there.
Okay, Daiki has been successful 2 out of 2 on the bench. Had a pretty good squat session, squatting 220, which is a massive bench at 77.
Bar's loaded.
And now the bar is loaded for a 143 kilo third attempt bench press for Daiki. Dyke to be followed by Liam Bygott, Tara Renke, Natalie Sam, and Owen Feng.
Start. Press. Rack.
And pressing there, white lights it is. So it's a good lift. So Dyke finishes the bench on a 143. Really strong bench at only 77 kilos body weight. And he's got a big deadlift opener to come. We're now going to Liam Bygott at 145. 145 kilos for Liam. This will be the heaviest bench of this group.
Bar's loaded.
Bar is loaded, and 5 kilos more than he benched in the previous attempt. So, 145 at only 85 body weight.
Start. Press.
That was a really good fight through the middle there where it slowed down, and it's a good lift. So 3 white lights, 145 kilo bench by Liam. Okay, next group, we're going to load the bar to 80 kilos. This is for Tara Renke. So all the weights off, all the weights off. It's 80 kilos. Oh, keep one red on, sorry. Because we've got Tara Renke on 80 kilos. She'll be followed by Natalie Sam, Owen, and Jason Clark. We've also got another bench-only lifter to come. A huge bench as well. So this is Tara Renke, 80 kilo
loaded.
bench, bar loaded in the 64 kilo class. Huge bench. Tara is one of our more talented lifters in powerlifting Australia. In fact, Australia's best junior lifter across all weight classes. Winning best female lifter across all classes at the Australian Junior Championships in March this year.
Start. Press. Rack.
Really strong bench. Let's see what the referees think. And it's 2 white lights, so she gets away with it. I saw what Vicki saw, which was that he beat the press call a little bit. So very quick on the press. And lucky lights. She even thinks that she's lucky. But no, it's a good lift. So 2 white lights. So the lifter has to wait for the referee to say press before they're allowed to start pushing. And the referee's not going to say the word press until the bar is motionless. Bar is now loaded for Natalie Sam. Natalie benching 90 kilos. Again, one of our more talented lifters in powerlifting Australia. Having represented Australia a number of times. Australian Junior Champion in 2015. Australian representative at the Worlds 2016. So long history of lifting for Natalie. And she's a very talented bench.
Start. Press. Rack.
It's a very strong 90-kilo bench opener. And it's 3 white lights, so it's a good lift. And we're going to load the bar to 115 kilos. And we're going to load the bar to 115 kilos for Owen. Now, Owen didn't register a total because he failed to make any of his squat attempts, if you remember. Just the inexperience getting the better of him, and he wasn't able to listen to his signals. Now, bar loaded for Owen Feng, 115 kilos on the bench press. So although he's not going to register a total, he's still invited to continue lifting and, you know, test his maxes and get a bit more platform experience. So right now the bar is loaded for Owen. We're just going to find him. What's that? Oh, well, someone's going to tap him on the shoulder. Okay, so we think Owen is distracted and doesn't realize he's up. So he's running out here frantically. All right, you got 20 seconds. Give him 10 seconds. Give him a round of applause, ladies and gents. He's got 10 seconds to get a start signal, but he's still going to listen to his calls.
Start. Press. Rack.
He just made it in time from the for the start call, but unfortunately it's 3 red lights, and it's going to be a no lift. Did he? I didn't see that. Okay, so that's going to be a no lift for Owen. So he's having a really rough day. Did he hit the racks? And unfortunately, the bar has hit the safety rails on the way down. So really rough start for Owen. But moving on, we've got Jason Clark out now with 140 kilos. Jason hasn't had a rough start. He's gone 3 out of 3 on the squats. Bar is now loaded, and he's going to look to add to his bench press. Jan, Vicky's just said to watch Natalie Sam's wrist wraps. Yes. They come up maybe a bit too high to wrist.
On the back? Just on the back or the front?
I don't know. I think whatever. Yeah. Just double check them when she comes out. Apparently, yeah. You're allowed to like hit them, but they can't support. Which I don't know how you interpret that, but I guess if it hits them,
If it hits them, then they're supporting.
Yeah, exactly.
Start. Press. Rack. Yeah.
And unfortunately, that's going to be a no lift for Jason. So the lesson of the day is to set the safety rails at a height where you're not going to hit them. A lot of lifters have made this mistake. This rack that we're using today, the Samtech rack, is a very good rack. But the safeties are a little bit different to some other racks that they might have used in the past and have different settings. So it's very important for lifters to double check their settings on the rack that's on the platform or an exact duplicate, not something of a different brand or a different year or different model. You want the exact duplicate, the exact year, model, and brand. Bar loaded now for Denver Steen, 150 kilos going on the bar.
Start. Press. Rack.
And a really easy attempt from Denver, but didn't really expect anything after his squat section went so smoothly. Speaking about smooth, we've got Sam Butterworth coming out with a 155 kilo opening bench attempt.
Oh.
Sam's first bench will be 155. He was successful in the squats with 280. So he went 3 out of 3 in the squats. Extremely good squatting. For now, 155 on the opening bench. Racks at 12. Long arms for the 120. Bar loaded. Can we get the pin out of that right rack? $155 for Sam Butterworth. He'll be followed by Chris Duck, so we didn't see much in the squat section after hurting himself on the first squat, as well as Langer Olsen Wharton from Nauru, guest lifter competing in the bench only.
Start. Press. Rack.
Really nice descent. Press was pretty good too, and it's 3 white lights, so that's a good lift for Sam Butterworth. Okay, next up we have Chris Ducks. He's benching 157. You're watching the here at the Brisbane Fitness Show powerlifting contest hosted by Powerlifting Australia. This is a 3-lift contest consisting of the squat, bench, and deadlift. These lifters competed in the squat only an hour ago and are now taking on the bench press. The lifter to the platform is Chris Ducks. Bar is loaded with 157 kilos.
Start. Press. Rack.
And a very smooth opening bench press for Chris Ducks. He's tie his hair, I think. Okay, our next lifter, Dave Napa, 160 kilos, goes on the bar. Dave, successful with a 300-kilo squat. Bar loaded now for him. And he'll be followed by Langer Olsen Wharton, who is a bench-only competitor today. So powerlifting is a 3-lift sport with a sport, squat, bench press, and deadlift, with the option for some lifters to opt out of some lifts. For example, our next lifter is doing a bench only. I'll get to that. For now, Dave Napa, 160-kilo opening bench press.
Start. Press. Rack.
Very powerful opening bench. Something to expect from Dave is he likes to open light, master his openers, and then go from there. Okay, our next lifter is Langer Olsen Wharton. Now, Langer Olsen did not compete in the squat section. He's only competing in the bench press only. This is a common, I guess, mode in powerlifting is for lifters to opt out of some lifts for whatever reason, due to injury or otherwise. And the bench press is a common one. A lot of lifters will compete bench press only. It gives them an opportunity to compete despite injuries or other things that may inhibit their ability to compete in a 3-lift. So bar is loaded now for Langer Olsen Wharton. 200-kilo opening bench. And he only weighs 106. So this is nearly double body weight on the bench press at 106 body weight. So huge bench to come. This is the Brisbane Open hosted by Powerlifting Australia. Powerlifting Australia is the premier drug-tested powerlifting federation in Australia. All of our lifters are subject to ASADA drug testing around in and out of competition. For now, we've got Langer Olsen Wharton, 200 kilos. Huge opening bench.
Start. Press. Rack.
That is a strong press. And it's a good lift. 3 white lights. So he's on the board with that Okay, we're going to bring the bar back down. This is for Tara Renke. Tara is a super strong lifter, but the quality of this session is just so high that she's the first to bench. She's benching 84 kilos, 4 kilos above what she opened with, which was 80.
Bar's loaded.
Bar is loaded for Tara, 84 kilos. Okay, following Tara, we're going to have Natalie Owen and Jason Clark.
Start. Press.
This is a massive grind. Come on, Tara, lock your left elbow out. Push it out, push it out.
Rack.
Okay, and that's going to be a no lift for Tara. So, no lift at 84. She's left at 80 kilos. And we're going to move on to Natalie Sam at 95 kilos. Natalie was successful with her opening bench at 90. She's gone up 5 kilos. Bar is now loaded for Natalie Sam, 95.
Start. Press. Rack.
Strong press, slowed down a little through the middle, but a 3-wire lift. So huge pressing by Natalie. It's a 95 kilo bench at only 63 kilo body weight. Okay, next lifter is Owen. Owen's had a rough start. We're going to 120, so 5 kilos more than he missed on his opening attempt. Owen unfortunately didn't register a squat. Bar is loaded, and he missed his opening bench. So let's see if we can get a successful lift on the board for Owen. Come on, he's still out here, still battling. He's still having a crack.
Start. Press. Rack.
That looks pretty good to me. Let's see what the referees say. Yeah, it's a good lift. 2 white lights. So he's on the board. He's in at 120 kilos. Okay, next lifter, the evergreen, Jason Clark. 150 kilos goes on the bar. After missing his opener on 140, we're going up 10 kilos. Now, the miss was a technicality. It hit the safety rails at the bottom, an issue that we've seen a couple of times this afternoon. Funnily enough, didn't see at all this morning. So I wonder if there's any relation. Perhaps the check racks might be incorrect. But it's been a common issue.
Bar's loaded.
Bar loaded now for Jason Clark. Previous Australian champion, Australian representative. Squatted a monstrous 281 in the squat section of today at only 90 kilos body weight. We've got 150 bench, which is also a very strong bench at only 90 kilos.
Start. Press. Rack.
And the bar path was a little shaky on the way up. Kind of went forward then back, but I don't think that'll be a problem. It's white lights, so mightn't have moved very fast, but I think that was just a technical issue. It just lost the line of the press. Okay, Sam Butterworth has opted for a conservative 5 kilo increase from his opening bench. His opening bench was strong, albeit not the fastest opener I've ever seen. So he's gone from 155 to 160. His rack height is 12.
Bar's loaded.
And bar is loaded for Samuel Butterworth. Followed by Denver, Chris, and Dave. Now he still looks to the spotter how he wants the lift off. On the opener, there was a little bit of confusion between the spotter and Sam. So I think on this one, with a better lift off, he'll be able to nail this attempt.
Start. Press.
Yeah, that's even better than the opener.
Rack.
Bar speed was awesome on that one. More weight, more. Great lifting by Sam. And we're going to load the bar now to 160. So the same weight, actually, but the rack heights drop to 8. This is for Denver. Now, Denver has been impressive all day. Cruising through his squats with a 243. Now we've got 160 on the bar for bench press. Bar is loaded. He'll be followed by Chris, Dave, and Langer. In the bench press section of today's Brisbane Open. Thanks to Powerlifting Australia, Iron Underground, World Powerlifting, City Strength, Samtech.
Start. Press. Rack.
Okay, very strong pressing again. And it's white lights for Denver, so that's a good lift. Okay, Chris, 163, 6 kilo increase from his opening attempt. Chris unfortunately had to pull out of the squats after an injury. Bar is now loaded. He's still coming out here and having to go on the bench press, although he won't register a total. Have a go. And he's got 163 on the bar.
Start. Press. Rack.
It was a nice push. Really fought through the sticking point on that one, and that is going to be a good lift for Chris. Kilos on his bench, that's 163. Okay, 2 lifts left in this group. Oh, sorry, 2 lifts left in this round of bench press. First is Dave Napa with 170 kilos on the bench. Dave was successful with 160 and has taken a nice 10 kilo jump to 170. Dave will be followed by Langer Olsen Warden at 210.
Bar's loaded.
Bar loaded for Dave Napa. 170 kilos on the bar.
Start. Press. Rack.
A very powerful bench, and he's happy with that, and he gets 3 white lights. The referees like it. Okay, we're now going to load the bar to 210 kilos. This is for Langer Olsen Warden. Langer is competing in the bench only today. He crushed his opening bench with 200, and we're now going to see 210 go into the bar for Langer Olsen Warden. Last bench of the second round. Bar loaded for Langer Olsen Warden. 210 kilos on the bar. This is the Brisbane Open, thanks to our host, Powerlifting Australia and Iron Underground. Oh, great fathering there. That was very speedy. Saving the camera. All right, give him a round of applause. This is a huge bench. 200 on the bar For Langer Olsen Warden,
Replace the bar. Need to get your bum down. You can go again, but you need to get your bum down.
that's time, Vicky.
Timed. Okay, sorry.
So unfortunately, it's going to be a no lift for Langer. Okay, so you might have heard Chief Referee instructing Langer what the issue was. In order to get the start signal, in order to commence the lift, the hips have to be in contact with the bench. There has to be contact with your and the bench, which there wasn't. As a result, our side referees on each side didn't deem the lift ready to start. So our chief referee never gave the lift to the start call. The clock ran out, and he's given a no lift. So I've said this a couple of times today if you've been here for a little while, but the bench is a very technical lift. A lot of things, I guess, can go wrong, and there's a lot of things to be wary of. So a lot of technicalities, like feet have to be flat, bum has to be in contact with the bench, head has to be on the bench, elbows have to be locked. All these prerequisites need to be in place before a lifter is given white lights for their lift. So the technique that these lifters use is very different to what you might have seen in your local gym, because we have rules to abide by. Bar is now loaded, though, for Tara Renke. Now, Tara, successful with 80, but has gone up 4 kilos and has missed her second attempt. She's retaken the same weight that she took on the second attempt, which is 84. Needs this lift to add 4 kilos to her total.
Start. Press.
Oh, really good fight there.
Rack.
And that's a really good press. And the referees like it. It's so Tara missed the second attempt on strength, wasn't able to push it out, but in this one, managed to grind it out and receive white lights from the referee. So really good work by Miss Renke. Okay, the next weight on the bar is for Natalie Sum. She's opted to go up 1 kilo from her 95 attempt. She's in good spirits. She wants a big round of applause. She wants everyone to get up around her. Bar is loaded for Natalie Sum. Give her your energy. Come on. Huge bench here by Natalie. 96 kilos at only 63 kilo body weight. A little too close to the rack. She readjusts.
Start. Press.
And it's a kilo too heavy, literally, because she was successful at 95, but 96 too much. So it's going to be a no lift for Natalie. She finishes the bench with 95. Didn't leave anything on the tank. That's fine. In the tank, sorry. Okay, our next lifter is Owen Feng. This is 123 kilos for Owen. Owen is successful at 120, and we're going up 3 kilos. So we've got Coach Paul Thompson speaking to Vicki, our chief referee, about the previous attempt from her lifter, Natalie Sum. Obviously not happy with something, perhaps protesting. All right, bar is loaded for Owen Feng. Okay, Owen, 123. Third attempt bench press.
Start.
Great control in the descent. Good pause. Come on.
Rack.
And just a little too heavy for Owen. He finishes the bench section with 123. We're now going on to Jason Clark, 155. So Jason Clark, 155 kilos, is going on the bar for his third attempt at bench.
Bar's loaded.
Bar loaded for, no it's not.
Oh,
Still putting some weights on. Still clipping
Sorry.
stuff on. That's all right. We're all excited, Vicky.
bar's loaded.
Great lifting going on. Bar is loaded for Jason Clark, 155 kilos. Laughing at Vicky. Okay, Jason, 155. He's had a great day managing a 281 squat and a 150 bench. This lift will just really put him in a great spot to build a big total today. So another 5 kilos on his total if he gets this.
Start. Press.
Yeah,
Rack.
much nicer than the second attempt. And he knows it too. He's happy with that. It's a good lift. 3 Real seasoned veteran is Jace. Only missing the one lift. His opener on a technicality, but other than that, very good lifting. Speaking about good lifting, our next lifter is Denver Steen. Successful with 160. He's now going to 163. So that's 3 kilos more than his second attempt. Now, Natalie Sam, who missed her
Bar's
third
loaded.
bench, is given a, bar is loaded firstly for Denver. Natalie Sam, who missed her third attempt bench, is being given a re-attempt at the end of the round due to spotter error. A 163 to be followed by Sam, Chris, Dave Napa.
Start. Press. Rack.
Okay, and that's going to be a no lift for Denver, just a little too heavy. Kind of comes at his back, maybe cramping through the back during that lift also doesn't help. Okay, our next lifter, Sam Butterworth, 165. To be followed by Chris, Dave, and Langer. Sam, 165, has been having a good day. He's gotten all his squats. Successful with his first 2 benches. Now, we're loading the bar to 165 after 2 good lifts at 155 and 160. Okay, bar is loaded for Sam Butterworth, 165. Come on.
Start. Press. Rack.
Heaps of power there from Sam. That looks really strong. Good lifting for Sam. So he's gone 6 out of 6. He's having a great day out here on a 445 subtotal and big deadlifts to come. Now Chris ducks 167, 167.
Bar's loaded.
Bars loaded for Chris. Chris, pretty good second attempt at 163. Did slow down. We're going to see how another looks for him.
Start. Press. Rack.
Okay, just a little too heavy it is for Chris. No lift, but he finishes on a 163 bench. Very commendable there. Okay, 3 benches to go. First, Dave Napa, 180. Then Langer Olsen, 210. And then a reattempt for Natalie Sam's third at 96. So we're going to go back down to 96 for Natalie Sam. For now, this is 180 kilos, 3 reds and a little red.
Bar's loaded.
Bar is loaded for Dave Napa. Another 10 kilos from his last attempt. He's gone 160, 170, 180.
Start. Press. Whack.
Lots of power there, but it slowed down right as he got past halfway. And he just that sticking point. So Dave finishes on a 170 bench after squatting 300 earlier in the day. Okay, we're now learning the bar for Langer Olsen Warden, 210. If you remember, Langer absolutely smoked his opening bench press at 200 kilos, timed out on the second attempt bench of 210 kilos.
Bar's loaded.
Bar is loaded, as he just wasn't in the correct starting position, and he really used too much of his time getting ready. But he's going to come out here and reattempt 210. Ladies and gents, give him a round of applause. He's joining us here all the way from Nauru to put on a great show for you today in the bench press section. So, round of applause for Langer Olsen Warden.
Replace the bar. Langer, you've got to get your hand inside the rings.
Okay, so Vicki, our chief ref, is just saying to the lifter that his grip is too wide. Okay, the bar has markings that tell us how wide the grip can be. He's got 10 seconds. Give him a round of applause. Come on, ladies and gents. Help him across the line here.
Start. Press. Rack.
And just a bit too heavy there. So having to rack the bar twice really takes it out of the lifter. We're going to load the bar now to 96. 96, guys. So a red, a green, a white. So we're going to load the bar now for Natalie Sam. Natalie missed her third attempt bench, but due to spotter error, is given an opportunity to retake that same weight. So this is her third attempt again, essentially. So we've got 96 kilos going on the bar. We've got 96 kilos going on the bar, and Natalie really wants this lift clearly because she's going to come out here and have another go. She's just going to fire herself up, and we're going to give her some energy. So she's the last bench presser for this entire day of lifting. Bar loaded for Natalie Sam. Bench press of the weekend, it's Natalie Sam, 96 kilos on the bar. Come on, Nat.
Start. Press.
Push it.
Rack.
And it's just truly too heavy for her today. She finishes the day with a 95 kilo bench press. How about a round of applause for all of our lifters in the bench press section of today's session? We're going to take a short break. This is the Brisbane Open here at the Brisbane Fitness Show. We're going to be back in 10 minutes for the deadlift. We've got some big deadlifts coming. Some of our ladies hitting up close to 200 kilos on the deadlift, and our gents hitting up to 300 kilos. So don't go too far. We're taking less than 10-minute break, and we'll be back for the deadlift component of today's Brisbane Open. Owen just loses balance on that deadlift, so that's going to be a no lift for Owen at 195. Okay, our next lifter is going to be Denver at 240, followed by Dave Napper at 250. Denver, great days lifting, 5 out of 6 so far. Only missing his third bench, so he only left 3 kilos on the platform with that last bench, missing one, I believe 153, or is it 163?
Bar loaded.
For now, bar loaded for Denver. This is 240. Yeah, Denver missing 163 on the bench, but successful with 160. So he's only left 3 kilos on the platform. We've got 240 on the bar now.
Down.
And he's just lost balance at the lockout, and he knows it as well. So it's going to be a no lift. So just like the other lifts, ladies and gents, at the lockout or throughout the lift, the bar has to come up in one action. There can be no downward movement. When a lifter loses balance like that at the top, there's downward movement of the bar. So it's a no lift. So Denver is going to be credited with, no lift on the 240. Not for any lack of strength, but just a lack of execution. Dave Napper is going to come out here with a 250 kilo deadlift. Jesus Christ.
So Tara's third deadlift, if she gets that,
Yeah.
she'll have the highest junior total out of all federations. So we need like the crowd to be
Okay.
specified.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so we've got Dave Napper coming out here for 250 kilos on his opening
Bar's
deadlift.
loaded.
And the bar is loaded for Dave Napper. This is a 250 kilo deadlift opening attempt. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give him a round of applause. This is 250. Come on. Yeah, a little bit of energy for our lifters now. We're into the deadlift. Dave to be followed by Sam Butterworth, Jason Clark.
Down.
Alrighty, that is a strong lift by Dave Napper, 250 kilos. We're now going to 280 kilos. This is for Sam Butterworth. That's fine.
Bar's loaded.
Bar is now loaded for Sam Butterworth. This is 285 kilos. No, juniors? That's masters. Oh, yeah. Women's 64. 436. Tara's not even close to that. What am I? I'm being told false information. Yeah. I don't know.
Down.
Really easy attempt by Mr. Samuel Butterworth. Strong attempt at 285. It's a good lift. All right, last lift of the first round. So there's going to be a very fast-paced group, folks. We're going to have to keep these lifters' energy high, as they're not going to get a lot of rest between attempts. Jason Clark, can you believe, is rounding out the group with 290. Bar loaded for Jason. He's only 90 kilos body weight. This is 200 kilos above his body weight.
I've already called bar.
Bar is loaded. So the bar is loaded. If he wants
Bar's
the bar
loaded.
brushed, he can do it, but it's on his time. All right, opening attempt for Jason Clark, 290 kilos.
Down.
Easy opening attempt for Jason. And he gets 3 white lights. Very, very close to beating the down call, it looked like. But it's a good lift. And we're going to bring the weight down. That was the last lift of the group. So the weight's coming back down to 142. Natalie Sam. Very easy opening attempt at 142. Easy attempt at 130. And we're now going to 142, which I suspect will be an easy attempt. Oh, that's why he was like limping off Bar is loaded for Natalie Sam. Okay, Natalie was successful at 130, really easily too. So 12 kilos more on the bar. I don't think will be of much concern.
Down.
And yeah, very smooth attempt for Natalie. And we see 3 white lights. So good lifting. Yeah, very good lifting. Alrighty. Okay, now we've got Tara Renke coming out here with a 170 kilo deadlift. So this will take a total up to 398. Big total at 64 body weight,
Bar's
especially
loaded.
as a junior. Bar loaded for Tara Renke. To be followed by Owen Feng, Denver Steen, and Dave Napa.
Down.
Alrighty, good looking lift, and the referees like it also. It's a good lift. 170 kilos for Tara. Extremely talented young lifter we've got here. For now, it's Owen Feng, 195, is going on the bar. It's 10% luck, 20%. All right, bar is loaded for Owen. Now, on Owen's previous attempt, he took a sumo stance, which is where you have the wider stance, and the bar's bounced across the platform and landed on his toe. So he's injured his toe. He's getting some medical attention, so I don't think he's going to come out for this attempt. But he's going to try to rally together to get that looked after and hopefully come out here for a 3rd attempt. Lifters have the option of scratching an attempt, but it's usually good practice to not do so, to give all the other lifters an extra minute's rest. Had he scratched this attempt, then everyone else gets a minute less rest. So, bit of sportsmanship from Owen to give his fellow lifters that extra rest in such a small group of lifters. So we've got 20 seconds on the clock, and the next lift is going to be 240. So spotters and loaders, 240 is next. That's going to be 4 reds, a white, and a 2.5. That's going to be for Denver, whose unsuccessful first attempt is being reattempted in the 2nd round. If you remember Denver, he had a really great squat section, a really good bench section, missing only his 3rd bench by 3 kilos. But his deadlift opener technically missed. So let's go. Next bar load is 240. So Denver missed that opening deadlift for losing balance. Kind of shook at the top. And he's retaking the same weight. Now a white plate goes on underneath that. Thank you. Denver to be followed by Dave Napa, Samuel Butterworth, and Jason Clark.
Can you take it back and clean it, please? Clean the bar.
Oh, teenager. Like under 20. Oh, okay, that makes sense. Yes. Yeah, okay, yeah.
Bar's loaded.
Bar is now loaded for Denver. This is 240 kilos. Ladies and gents, it's been a long day, but I want you to give our lifters a bit of energy. This is their 2nd attempt, deadlift for Denver. He missed this in the opening round, so he's going to need to nail this one. Come on, Denver.
Down.
Much better attempt, and he knows it too. So it's a good lift for Denver. He's on the board in the deadlift with 240 kilos. Okay, I've just been informed that Tara Renke is going for a 178 kilo deadlift, which will give her a 406 total.
Bar's loaded.
Bar is loaded now for Dave Napa. So Dave Napa was successful at 250. He's going to 280. So pretty much the same attempts that he took in the squat. 250 followed by 280. This will give him a 750 total.
Down.
Nice, strong deadlifting by Dave. Okay, next lifter is Sam Butterworth. So, as I was saying, Tara Renke is going for a lift to put her name in the books as the best teenage lifter in Australia. She's only 19 years of age and trains at Iron Underground, our main sponsor of this event, so we're going to have to get around her when that comes around.
Bar loaded.
For now, we have Sam Butterworth going for 300 kilos. Bar loaded for Sam. This is 300 kilos on the bar. Yeah, come on, Sam. 300 kilos. Huge deadlifting going on here at the Brisbane Open.
Down.
Very strong deadlifting by Samuel, and he's rewarded with 3 white lights. Okay, our next lifter, Jason Clark. Can you believe? 5 kilos more on the bar, 30 kilos less on the body weight. Jason Clark is going for a 305 kilo deadlift at only 90 kilos of body weight.
The bar.
That's 5 reds and a yellow each side. Now the bar is loaded for Jason
No.
Clark. Oh, sorry, no, it's not. My mistake. My mistake. We're going to brush that bar down, remove any excess residue from the bar.
Bar's loaded.
Even the spotters are having a hard time rolling that thing. Bar is loaded for Jason Clark. Let's give him a round of applause as he comes out here. This is 305 kilos on the bar.
Down.
Really easy attempt there by Jason, the 305. He's having an absolute stellar day on the platform. All right, ladies and gents, we've been here since 10 a.m. We've seen some huge lifts go down, but we've only got 10 minutes, not even 10 minutes. I'm going to say about 8 minutes of lifting left for this entire day of lifting. Powerlifting Australia wants to thank you for your attention and support. We're not going to be here tomorrow, so this is the last round of deadlifts for the entire weekend, essentially. So if you can do me a favor and give every one of these lifters the support that they deserve after such a great day of lifting. First up is Natalie Sam, bar loaded, 150 kilos for Natalie Sam, come on! Come on, Nat, come on!
Down.
Huge deadlifting by Natalie. And she's stoked with that. It's 150 kilos.
Welcome
Okay,
back
the
to
next lifter,
platform.
Tara Renke. If she manages this lift, she will cement herself as the best powerlifter, female powerlifter in Australia under the age of 20. As a teenager, she's only 19 years of age. She trains at our premier powerlifting facility here in Brisbane, Iron Underground. She's
Bar's
19,
loaded.
she's the current Australian champion, and with this lift, will cement herself as the best teenager in Australia. Put your hands together, bar is loaded for Tara Renke! Let's go, Tara, come on! Come on, Tara! 19 years of age, Tara Renke, 178 kilos on the bar! Come on, Tara, come on! You got it, Tara, stand up!
Down.
And it's just a little too heavy for her today. She gave that everything, and give her a round of applause as she comes off the platform. A huge effort by young Tara Renke, only 19 years of age, already a junior Australian champion. 4 years of lifting under her belt already. Lots to come for her. Okay, for now, we've got 4 lifts left. 4
Bar's
lifts
loaded.
left. First, Denver Steen, 250 kilos goes on the bar. The bar is loaded. Put your hands together for Denver for his last lift of the day. a quarter ton, 551 pounds. Come on, Denver, come on.
Down.
And that took everything out of him, and he's going to receive a no lift. So he failed to lock out completely at the top there. Didn't really pull his shoulders back or lock his legs out. That weight was just a little bit too heavy for him. Man, he was having such a great day. His squats were superb. Bench press was great. But deadlifts there, just a little bit too much for him. So he finishes on a 643 kilo total. 3 lifts left, and every weight on the bar is over 300 kilos, can you believe?
Bar loaded.
Bar loaded for Sam Butterworth. This is 308 kilos. Previous Australian champion Sam Butterworth taking on a huge lift. Yeah, come on. He wants that bar. Come on. This is 308 on the bar.
Down.
3 white lights. It's a good lift for Sam Butterworth at 308 kilos. That completes a 9 out of 9 performance for him. A huge total. That's, what is that? 753 kilos on the total. We're now loading the bar to 312 kilos. This is Jason Clark's 3rd attempt deadlift. He too has had an absolutely superb day's lifting. This lift is, mammoth lift, 312 kilos on the total.
Bar loaded.
And we got...
Sorry, excuse me. Hey. No, he has to ask me.
Okay, the bar has been declared loaded for Jason Clark. This is 312 kilos. Bar is loaded. Put your hands together for Jason. This is the last lift of Jason Clark's day. He's going to win our best male lifter for the day. Ladies and gents, put your hands together. 312 kilos, Jason Clark.
Down.
Man, that was an easy 3rd attempt deadlift. He's pumped with that, and that concludes a 748 kilo total day. And ladies and gents, we've got 1 lift left. So that total that Jason Clark put together was 748, which actually matches what the Australian champion of this year lifted. Okay, we're now seeing a change. There's a change. Change. It's no longer 315, it's 313, sorry. So that total that Jason Clark has actually matches what the Australian champion total this year, who wasn't Jason. The Australian Championships were 2 weeks ago. So if Jason put together that total 2 weeks ago on the same day, he would have been Australian champion, but he's not. So still a mammoth total, 478 Wilkes, 748 on the total. Good catch there. But ladies and gentlemen, might I conclude this by saying that this is the last lift of our entire weekend. We're finishing off with a 313 kilo deadlift. Put your hands together. Bar is loaded for Dave Napa. It's the last lift of the day. How about we all get on our feet and give him a round of applause? Last lift of the day. Come on. Let's go, Dave. Let's go, Dave. Come on. Give him your energy. Come on. Last lift. Let's go. Come on, Dave.
Down.
And he's happy with that. And it's a good lift. It's 3 white lights. And so concludes the Brisbane Open. A huge shout out to Powerlifting Australia, the premier drug-free powerlifting federation in Australia, for hosting this event in conjunction with Iron Underground. Iron Underground, the strength and powerlifting gym of Brisbane, based in Albion, who are big supporters of Powerlifting Australia. If you want to find out more about strength and powerlifting, Please see the guys here from Iron Underground to your right.